Fees could soon be coming your way. More on the city's proposal coming up.
We're breaking down the numbers on lithium battery fires across the county and tips on how best to avoid sparking one.
Educators meeting to make sure every student feels safe on campus and has the tools necessary to be successful. We'll have the details.
A 9-year-old San Diego boy bit by a rattlesnake. I'm Shanna Handy. Coming up, hear his story and safety tips you need to know.
San Diego police makes history with its first amputee on the motorcycle unit. We share his inspirational story of determination.
The next time you're stressed out at work, have your boss install one of these, a Star Wars meditation room.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now.
We begin tonight with an update on a fee. Homeowners in the city of San Diego could soon have to start paying for trash pickup, a service that used to be free. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. City leaders say the fees will help the city's general fund pay for other city services. CBS 8's Alex Cheney spoke with City Council President today and joins us live with details. Alex?
Marcella and Carlo, right now trash pickup in the city of San Diego is free, but soon it could cost homeowners $47 a month.
In 2022, voters in the city of San Diego approved Measure B, which allowed the city to charge a fee for trash services for the first time. The city initially suggested a fee of $53 a month, but after public workshops, they've lowered it to start around $47.
There were clear indications, both from the public and I think from council colleagues, that please sharpen your pencil. 53 may be a tough one to start off the bat.
The monthly fees would vary based on trash bin size.
Under this new proposal, everyone would start with the 95-gallon trash bin. You could then trade down to the smaller 65-gallon bin or the even smaller 35-gallon.
The fees would be $47.59 for a 95-gallon bin, $42.88 for a 65-gallon bin, and $36.72 for a 35-gallon container. Right now, city trash services are paid through the general fund. If the fee were to be approved by the council, the $70 million that is currently being spent will be recouped by the new fee, freeing up that money to be used on other city services.
If folks rejected the fee, if the council rejected that fee, that would be $70 million in city services in other departments and other directions that we would not be able to deliver.
The city's Environmental Services Department says, if approved, the fee will be paid at the same time as property tax, an additional line item on the bill from the county.
By having a dedicated fund, it means that we are not dependent on the general fund and we're not competing with other departments every year for a limited pool of general fund dollars.
On Monday, the council will seek authorization to set a hearing date of June 9th to vote on the fees. During that time will be a state mandatory 45-day protest period. During that time, the city will be sending out a notice via mail to every single property owner that will be paying this new fee.
Other cities in California already have a monthly trash fee, such as Long Beach and Sacramento. Now, if the trash fee is approved on June 9th, payments will begin on July 1st. Reporting live in Claremont, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Thanks, Alex. Tonight we're getting more answers about a hidden danger that may be lurking in your garage or even living room: lithium-ion batteries. CBS 8 obtained records that reveal a growing number of fires linked to those batteries right here in San Diego County.
Tonight, CBS 8's Brian White is digging into the data, and he's looking into how dangerous these fires are and how best to avoid starting one.
Yeah, in the past year alone, at least 83 fires have been caused by lithium-ion batteries here in San Diego County. Everything from cell phones and scooters to electric vehicles. An e-bike battery fire destroys a home in Barrio Logan. And this house fire in Carlsbad caused by a scooter charging overnight. And when this pedicab warehouse in East Village went up in flames, the culprit was lithium batteries.
The number of batteries in our county is just increasing. And so the number of fires are gonna go up.
In records obtained by CBS 8 showing more than 80 battery fires over the past year, personal electronic devices top the list. Things like cell phones, e-cigarettes, and power tools. 14 fires were linked to electric vehicles and 17 were caused by mobility devices like scooters and e-bikes. Chief Robert Rezendi with San Diego Fire Rescue heads up a team that responds to these types of fires all across the county. He says they're seeing an equal number of battery failures, whether a device is on charge or not.
That's something to think about. Don't just assume, well, I don't have it on my charge, so I'm fine. I can put it in my bedroom. We definitely don't recommend that.
He says it's important to use the right charger and charging cord for the device according to the manufacturer, because the wrong one can damage your battery. And it's best to take your device off the charger when it's done and avoid leaving it on charge overnight. And he says placement is key.
Where are you charging it? Are you charging it next to your gas cans? That's probably not a good idea. Are you charging it next to other flammable towels or racks or rags?
As for electric vehicles, Chief Rezendi says the industry is highly regulated compared to e-bikes and scooters, and the relative prevalence of fires is low.
It doesn't mean that it won't happen. We have seen incidents with the actual charging device itself, the cord that charges the vehicle. We've seen incidents where the vehicle itself has had failures.
If you have an electric vehicle, he recommends installing a heat detection or alert system in your garage. For a full list of safety tips, head to CBS8.com. Working for you, Brian White, CBS 8.
Thanks so much, Brian. Remember, if there's an issue you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
A man who tried to shoot a Carlsbad police officer 2 years ago was sentenced to more than 20 years in prison today. Patrick Doherty opened fire on an officer during a traffic stop back in 2023. The officer took cover and fired back before calling for backup. Doherty drove off but later surrendered and no one was hurt. Doherty will also have to pay a fine. Tonight we've learned Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife, Second Lady Usha Vance, made a quick visit to San Diego today. They flew into MCAS Miramar, and base officials tell us the second couple were here visiting a close friend who suffered a personal tragedy. No other details were given. The Vice President and Second Lady will return to Washington tonight.
New tonight, educators from around the county and in Mexico met in the South Bay today to discuss migrant education and how that can be fostered into an improved learning experience for all students in the classroom.
CBS 8's Steve Price talked to some of the attendees about the challenges that they're facing.
From here in Chula Vista all the way up to Fallbrook, how are educators making sure our students, especially those who come from migrant families, have the tools they need to be successful? Tools that include teachers who speak their language.
More than 1 million students in California's K-12 public schools are English learners, meaning they speak a different language at home, and many of them struggle to succeed in classes taught only in English.
This border is more than a line on a map. It is a heartbeat that pulses with hopes and dreams.
School leaders from across the county and in Mexico met in Chula Vista today for a binational forum on migrant education. Their message, having these students in our classrooms makes everyone better.
Different languages, different cultures, different experiences. And instead of seeing that as a deficit, we embrace it and see that as an asset.
But their forum is taking place at a time when many in the migrant community face new threats of deportation, and it's being felt in the classroom.
Our students today, my students, are experiencing uncertainty, which opens the door to fear. And everyone here knows that when students are fearful, they cannot learn.
Despite what's happening on the federal level, state leaders are encouraging this diversity through a new assembly bill making its way through Sacramento, which calls for the sponsoring of teachers from Mexico.
The assembly bill that was signed and sponsored by David Alvarez is a big step forward because we do have a shortage of bilingual teachers. We do need more bilingual teachers, and so that'll be a really important partnership that we have with Mexico.
But those teachers aren't just for the Spanish speakers. In Chula Vista, thousands of English-speaking students participate in a dual immersion program that's so popular, there's a waiting list.
And the whole idea and the whole focus is to make sure that our students in our dual language immersion programs become not just bilingual, but bilingual, biliterate, bicultural.
The forum also provided an opportunity for educators to share instructional strategies to ensure they're giving all students the best opportunity to succeed. In Chula Vista, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steve. Tonight, we want to bring you an update on the results in the special election for District 1 seat on the San Diego County Board of Supervisors.
The Registrar of Voters released updated numbers about an hour ago. They show Chula Vista's Republican Mayor John McCann. His lead dropped slightly from 44% to 43%. Imperial Beach Mayor Democrat Paloma Aguirre is still in second with just under 32% of the vote. More than 50% is needed to avoid a runoff. The registrar says there are about 4,500 ballots still left to be counted, but those ballots are unlikely to change the top two finishers, setting up an Aguirre and McCann face-off in a July runoff, July 1st, in fact. Coming up, what the head of California's largest school district is saying about DHS agents trying to enter some of its campuses this week.
Plus, why the Menendez brothers case will be back in a Los Angeles courtroom tomorrow.
And later, we introduce you to the nation's first amputee motorcycle officer who's now working in America's finest city.
A lot of sunshine out there for our current view from Mount Soledad Cam, but we did have some cloud cover and some fog developing along the coast earlier this morning. That prompted an advisory. Will we see that again tomorrow morning? All those details are coming up.